I appreciate you guys being here. It's pretty neat for me to sit up here and talk baseball in November. As we have wrapped up our fall team segment of practice, and certainly encouraged by what I got a chance to see, and our coaches, what we got a chance to observe over the course of the fall. And we certainly got a lot of areas to work on, and we got improvements to be made. And certainly these couple months that are in front of us right now are critical to how we start our season in February. But the fall was productive in my eyes. We did have some injuries. We had some guys banged up, but I got to see some of our new guys play quite a bit. I got to see them play a little bit more than I would have normally got to see them because of the injuries, and that was good for me. And our pitchers were extremely impressive, and for the most part, they stayed healthy. Most of our injuries were guys that played in the positions. So, but our pitchers threw extremely well, and from a team standpoint, I'm excited as I can possibly be about our team because they're fun to be around. They work extremely hard. They're good kids. They got great character, and I know they're going to invest. Put the investment in to have a successful season both individually and as a team. And it's been a joy to be around these guys thus far, and we're anxious to get started in January on the 2017 season.
Questions?
You've talked about like what a Madison Stoke did and Matt Williams. Now looking back, having a couple weeks out from it, were there any other players that impressed you or that kind of stood out to you if you thought back on the fall?
Well, Chris Cullen, his elbow was a little bit tender, and he was a little bit banged up. But offensively, he stood out. He led our team in hitting, even though stats aren't the most end-all, be-all in the fall. But if you did have a batting average, he was at the top of the list, and he swung the bat at a high level. He led our team in extra base hits. He's much more physical, strong, mature, confident. All those impressive words. He's much improved in those areas. We thought when we recruited him that he had a chance to be special. And I said last year, and other coaches said, that kid's going to play in the big leagues. And he showed me this fall that he certainly has the ability to do that. He's really made some strides. So, along with Stokes and Matt and TJ, and, we had some other guys really play well too. But those guys kind of stood out, as far as the imprint they left on the fall and the way that they played. And you also judge them a little bit about how they played last year, how they've played previously, and the improvement was at a pretty high level.
Can you update us on those injured players and what their status will be going forward into the spring?
The list is long. I'll try not to miss anybody. Justin Rowe was a shortstop, obviously one of our shortstop middle infielders from California, and he had his knee cleaned out about midway through the fall. He's healthy and ready to go now. He's probably, if we played in a game today, he could play. So he'll work out with us today in a small setting. But we're excited about Justin. Cullen and Jones had their knees cleaned out, minor knee arthroscopic surgeries, and that just the wear and tear of that position brought those injuries along. And we were really kind of we were lucky to get through the fall, to be honest with you, because all our catchers were banged up pretty good. Cullen, Johnny Jones, obviously with his knee getting cleaned out, and Hunter Taylor pulled his hamstring at the end of the fall in the Fall World Series. So those guys are on the mend. They're going to be all back and ready to go come January. Riley Hogan had a broken hamate bone. He missed a lot of the fall, but he's back now and swinging the bat and playing, and he certainly participated in the Fall World Series. So. Right now, those are the guys that are banged up. Tyler Haswell had an off-the-field injury in which he separated his shoulder, his left shoulder, not his right. So he's been banged up and hadn't been able to pitch a large portion of the fall. Outside of that, those are the guys that have been banged up. But the good news is I expect them all to be 100% healthy, ready to go, in January.
What do you look for in determining who's going to be your opening game starting pitcher, and when do you anticipate making that decision?
I don't know when. I'll have to make it the week of opening day. The good thing is I don't have to search very far to find one. Got two pretty good ones right there, but Adam Hill wants to be in that conversation too, and he certainly, outside of one inning all fall, he might have had the cleanest 12 or 13 innings we've had on any of our pitchers. So he's improved it a great deal. So, Clark and obviously Will and Adam are going to be in that conversation, and obviously with the experience of Will and Clark, they're certainly probably one of those two will probably throw Friday opening day this year, and it's going to be a tough call on my part. I wish I could throw them both, but it's a nice problem to have, though. I'm not going to lose much sleep over that decision.
To the first part of the fall, Jon Jones was basically on the one leg. You said he was playing as well as anybody. How pleased have you been with his progression during this fall?
He's much stronger. He's worked hard in the weight room. He did have a nice fall swinging the bat. His strikeouts were down, which was a concern of mine last year, and he hit for a pretty good average. He hit over 300, if you're going to go at bat for an at bat. So he did some good things. I love Johnny Jones. I love his makeup. He's a team guy, works extremely hard, and he's going to be healthy. He wasn't healthy much. He was always banged up last year. He had a back issue he dealt with from a stress fracture that he just played through. This fall he's played through the knee injury. I look forward to having him healthy in February, and that'll be the first time really since he's been on campus that he's been 100% healthy. That's exciting for me, and that's exciting for Johnny. I expect big things out of him. I love his maturity. I love the fact I can put him in the middle of the lineup, and he's been through the ringer of this league. He knows what it's all about. So he's a big part of our team as we start in February.
Coach, what kind of message did you send Tyler Johnson off with this offseason? And he can work multiple roles, and you have depth in your rotation in the back of your pen. What do you expect from him this year?
I didn't mention Tyler. I guess I could throw him on Friday too. Tyler. I mean, he's struggling to find the right words, but the model that all of our young pitchers should watch is Tyler Johnson, from the way that he works, what he does in the weight room, his preparation, how committed he is to being the best pitcher he can be. And it's not just pitcher. He's committed to being the best kid, person, human being he can be. It's all walks of life. That's who Tyler is. But we felt it was important to slow him down a little bit this fall. He threw a lot for us last spring, obviously. He threw for Team USA. He needed a little bit of downtime. We did ramp up his bullpens, and he did throw this fall. He just didn't throw to hitters in a competitive situation. But now we're kind of letting his arm take it easy a little bit here the rest of November and the 1st of December, and he's going to be ready to go. And but he's in phenomenal shape. His arm's in great shape. If we played tomorrow, he would certainly be ready to close the game. That being said, he's a versatile guy, and I can pitch him in a number of different spots. So we'll see how that unfolds. Everybody asked me, is he going to be our closer? I mean, he was our closer last year. I would, suspect, as we head into January, that's kind of what my thought process as we go into this year. But, injury here, injury there, or you can't get to him, you have to look at other avenues, But I think we have the depth of our pitching staff to get to Tyler with some leads. And I like that combination. I love the way Reed Scott's thrown. I love the way Josh Reagan's thrown. We got some new guys that have a chance to contribute, but I love the fact that the back of our bullpen is very old, mature, veteran leadership type guys that know what it's like to get the final outs of a game. And I hope that with Tyler leading the way, that'll be one of the strong points of our team.
With Brendan McIlwain going into the winter and spring, will things remain the same in terms of his balance between football and baseball, and what role do you anticipate for him this season?
Well, I actually spoke to Brandon today, and he's preparing to be with us, and he's excited about playing baseball here. And I've had some conversations with Coach Muschamp as well, and Coach is committed to allowing him to be a big part of our baseball program as well. And how much he plays, or how he needs to get over here in January once football's over, and we're going to try to catch him up from the time that he missed in the fall and see if he can get in the conversation to get in there and play. He certainly has the talent and ability to play and be a big factor on our team. But it's difficult to play this sport if you're not involved in it each and every day in some capacity. It's very difficult, and especially swinging the bat. It's a hard enough task to hit a baseball when you're here every day. But when you're not getting some work because of time constraints or, academic work or, all the time that's pulling at Brandon, it's very difficult for him to stay at that high level baseball-wise because it's hard. It's no easy task. He has the talent to do it. But we got to catch him up first and then see if he's in that conversation to play. If he's in that conversation to play, then, then things change for Brandon. But last year he was only outside looking in, so he should have focused on football. And that's, we're going to go into it probably with the same type of agreement. And if he's involved in baseball and he's playing, we'll certainly look at getting him over here a lot more. If he's a reserve, then I certainly don't want to take him away from Coach Muschamp or from football. But Brandon is excited. He's a good kid. He's smiling, and I know he's excited about contributing to our team in the spring.
Coach, can you talk about, I guess, the progress of Wil Crowe from the summer up to this point?
Well, Will, it's been a pretty long road for him since he got hurt back in 2015, I guess, at Florida, and Will wants the ball in his hand each and every game. He wants the ball in his hand on Friday night. That's just his mentality. When you have that injury, it's a significant one, so it takes a lot of time to not only recover from the surgery, but the rehabilitation that those kids go through is very difficult. And but he's done it extremely well. I think in the summer, his velocity was back, but he maybe lacked some command, and his off-speed pitches weren't quite as sharp. But that's normal when you come off of surgery like that. It was important to get him mound time this summer, just to get back out over the rubber, facing some hitters, remembering what it was like, to compete and to pitch in some meaningful games, and because it had been a while, been over a year, so. He got to do that this summer, and that much better prepared him for this fall. He was terrific all fall. I mean, velocity was off the chart. Breaking ball was much improved. He had a little inconsistency, over the course of the fall with his changeup, but that's historically one of his better pitches. He'll continue to work on that as we get closer to opening day. But, he has a chance to be a special pitcher for us, and he's put himself in that position because of how hard he's worked, but since his injury occurred. It's been neat to watch him go from being down in the dumps to worrying about his career, worrying about if his career at South Carolina was over, to now I'm in the conversation of being a Friday night guy or all SEC guy or a high draft pick. All those things are now he's put himself in that position, and that's a testament to his talent, testament to his work ethic and the type of kid he is. But he was great for us this fall. Sorry, D.
Signing day was yesterday. If you could just give some general thoughts on the class, how you think those kind of address your needs, and one player specifically, Tyler Metatol, wanted to hear your thoughts on him and how he can help the program.
I can't talk about all of them specifically because we're still waiting on a few papers, so I got to be careful with the rules. But we are excited about the group. We feel it's a very talented group. The position players are athletic. Our pitchers have good arms, and Tyler's one of those kids a kid from Chicago, outside of Chicago, that left-handed that competes. He's got a football mentality. He's got a linebacker mentality that throws it in there 88, 91 miles an hour and competes really hard and gets after you. And he's got a great mentality, great makeup. Perfect type of guy for us. He's like those lefties that we've put out there before from a makeup standpoint, like a Nolan Belcher or a Josh Reagan or Michael Roth, all those left, and Tyler Webb, Jordan Montgomery. He just kind of seems to fit that mold when it comes to his makeup. And but he's going to be a freshman, and he's got work to do, and he's coming off an injury as well, and Tommy John, so can't put the expectations too high on him, but he's certainly got a bright future in our program, and I look forward to getting him here. And we're certainly in a need for some lefties and with that type of makeup, and he's certainly going to provide that for us.
the motivation you had going into last season, you know, in the fall, coming off the prior season, how is that different this year when you had a bounce back season last year? Got everybody more motivated, locked in? What's the mood like?
I don't know if each year is the same in regards to preparation. I just want this team, like I did last year's team, I want this team to play at a high level, to be the type of team it thinks it can be. I want them to always – I just want them to be able – I don't want to put goals on saying we have to do this or have to do that or it's not an unsuccessful season. No, I just want them to play up to their ability and be the best team they possibly can be. And I had that attitude last year. I had it the year before. But I think we're as motivated as we've ever been. We were a very highly motivated group last year going into the season because we felt like we had to get a bad taste out of our mouth. But I think this group's very, very motivated as well because they want to achieve a few things that they didn't achieve last year. So in that regard, I don't think it's too much difference. They're ready to go. They're ready to play. I think they feel good about themselves. I think they think that we have a chance to be a good team. But I also know that they've worked extremely hard, so they understand we got a lot to work on. Got some question marks. I mean, Mooney's not back, you know, and the way Stokes and Tolbert played it give us some optimism, sure. But I mean, that's an important position. Who are we going to catch every day? I mean, is it going to be? I mean, who are we going to play at second? DC's not here, and there's a lot of different things. There's going to be some new players out there. That being said, I think they realize that we have some talented kids, and at South Carolina, the expectations are always high. It's going to be very high for this group, and so I don't want them to read too much about all the expectations about how good people like you guys think they are. I want them to just try to be the best that they can be and work extremely hard each and every day to get to that point. If they just kind of stay in the moment and work hard every day, we have a chance. If they start believing everything they read and they don't work at it each and every day, we'll be very disappointed. And so we're going to try to keep the hammer down on them and work hard and keep them focused, and hopefully they can put themselves in a position to be one of the better teams in the country.
You've got your foundation event this weekend. What's most exciting to you about this event? How's it going to differ from some of the ones you've had in the past?
Well, it's a very, very meaningful day for our family and for a lot of kids that we know that have battled pediatric cancer and other diseases, and it's a meaningful day. It's a meaningful event to Jen and I and Reese and Cooper, and we're just so thrilled that so many former players, so many great athletes from across the country, so many great musicians have kind of joined forces with us. And we have a community here that's amazing. We have fans of our university and our baseball program that's amazing. We've had to turn people away this year. It's sold out, and that in itself is truly humbling. So there's some more important things in this life than the sport of baseball, and kids with cancer is one of those things in my book. And so being able to contribute and bring awareness to that unfair, unfortunate, underfunded disease is a great thrill for our family. And Reese has been awfully lucky. There's other kids that haven't been so lucky. So until we can get this thing figured out, the Holbrook family and its the players that I've been lucky enough to coach are going to continue to fight this battle, and that's neat. That's a neat thing to be a part of. It's a lot bigger thing than just Chad Holbrook or Jennifer Holbrook or Reese Holbrook. It's an unfair and unfortunate and underfunded thing, and our family's just happy to try to contribute in a small way to it, and that's why that night's so special.
What are your plans for regarding Alex Destino right now? Is he going to stay in the outfield? Is he going to give first base another try or another defense?
We've had him in left field, and we're going to DH him and play him in left field. We haven't had him at first much this fall. And I went into the fall thinking that I was going to put him some at first to see if he could get comfortable there. But I just don't think that's after sifting through it, watching him some more a little bit early this fall, I just think I want him as comfortable as he can be so he can focus all his attention on being in the batter's box and swinging the bat. And I think I'll put too many burdens on Alex if I put him over at first. I just want him to relax and hit. And So right now, I think the best spots for him in regards to this year's team is playing left field and DH. And I got some other guys over there that can play first and play it at a high level. So that's a very, very important position. People take that for granted. We realized how important it was when Kyle Martin was here and he was picking everything out of the dirt, known to mankind. But first baseman handles the ball quite a bit. Handles the ball more so than any other player on the field other than the pitcher and the catcher. So we need to make sure we're sure-handed over there. And I got some guys that are pretty sure-handed and don't know which one that's going to be. I might platoon over there a little bit early. Who knows? But I'm going to put Alex in the outfield and just let him let him swing the bat. And I can DH him as well because I got a couple guys out there that can play left other than Alex.
That was kind of my question about first base, but when you're talking about short, second, not knowing who's going to play first, is that kind of an interesting position that you just hadn't been in over the last few years?
Well, I know. I know who's going to play pretty much those positions. It is new for us because the faces are new, and there's a couple guys right now that that I know are going to play first. They don't even know they're going to play first, and I got some athletic guys that I want to move around that I won't get in the lineup, from time to time that may not be able to play the position they want to play or necessarily think they're going to play. And, we did that last year with Stokes and LT, and they did fine over there. This year, Matt Williams has really shown that he can do it. Jacob Olson's a junior college player that I want in the lineup. He's athletic, and he can play short. He can play second. He can play third, and he can certainly play first. Riley Hogan's going to have a great future here. Whether it happens right out of the gate opening day or not, I don't know. But those are three pretty good options in my book. But we've had Stokes. He's had experience. I can put Chris Cullen over there and feel great. And so if this is Jones's day to catch, and I want another DH in there, I can play Cullen at first. It's shaping up to be a pretty versatile team. That doesn't guarantee us success. It just we have some versatility, and I just got to make sure I don't move too many guys around too many spots and don't play at a high level. You got to try to keep it consistent, but Cullen is certainly another option over there. So I feel good about that position. I feel great about that position. But till we kind of get in the swing of things and get a rhythm going in our season, that might be a different first baseman every other game or so. Who knows?
Any other questions for Coach?
Appreciate y'all coming, and February we'll see you upstairs.